Greetings and salutations. Welcome to LoveCast 159. Save that. It was awesome seeing so many of you at the in-person picnic this last Saturday. It was a lovely, lovely day. All right, looks like we are up and going. Hey, when we go, days when rains came down on the hollow, playing a new game, laughing in a run, hey, hey, skipping and jumping in the mist of morning fog with our hearts thumping in you, my brown-eyed girl. You're my brown-eyed girl. So whatever happened, Tuesdays are so slow. Going down to the old mine with a transistor radio, standing in the sunlight laughing out behind the rainbow's wall, slipping and sliding on the waterfall with you, my brown-eyed girl. You're my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember where we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, just like that, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. So hard to find my way now that I'm on my own. I saw you just the other day, you had grown. Cast my memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I'm overcome thinking about it, making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you, brown-eyed girl. You're my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, just like that, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la All right. Yeah, busy, long day today. This is the middle component. And an epic schedule. Yeah, I had to get up early this morning. I had a modeling job way the hell out in Valencia, which is near Santa Clarita. And it was a good job though. It was enjoyable. And it's this big cuddly cute white cat. Well, how early for me is subject to how late yesterday was. And so I would call early, like not even looking at your clock. Early is if I'm getting less than about, say, 5 hours sleep. That's early. That's how. Yeah, that's how I'll say that. Hi, Amanda. So, is there anything going on the Vaudacity network tonight after me? I'm a little out of the loop. Let's see. Hey, Melissa Catano's here. Kelsey Blaine Gibson. My mom Pam is here. Svetlana, hi. Diana Nicole. Yep, Mom, I made it home just fine. Hello, Amanda. Okay, Amanda is tomorrow, right? Yeah. Kathy B. Okay. But tomorrow is there Amanda, is a podcast episode releasing soon, and thus you were up editing last night? That's my question at large. Released it at 1:30 a.m. Okay. Yeah, I was definitely still up at 1:30. I was trying not to be, but man, was I failing and, just being awake. Go listen and learn about the OJ trial and why he might not have done it. I'm curious. It seems like we might have talked about this, or maybe I just heard you talk about this on one of your shows one time. Yeah, the only plausible thing I ever, that ever like crossed my internal radar is if DNA evidence being early as it was in the 90s, if OJ's son did it, and the DNA evidence would turn up something like that. But yes, that's the one. Yeah. So I was always kind of curious about that. And then, of course, like, OJ would look like a very guilty man while he's like, well, why? What are you trying to hide? If he knows his son did it and he's like trying to, cover up for his son. Yeah. Then suddenly it's got like all the pieces of a good conspiracy, because the evidence fits this explanation just as well as the evidence fits. So this is the alternative hypothesis. The alternative hypothesis in this case would be that OJ did not do it because his son did do it. And the original hypothesis in this case would, of course, be that OJ did it, because we know somebody did it, right? Taking that bit for granted. So this is a great conspiracy theory because it fits all the alternative hypothesis, fits all the evidence just as well as the default hypothesis. So that's why I was like kind of fascinated by that. But OJ wasn't the murderer. Right, yeah. But that would be the case if it was his son. It wouldn't be. Yep. Which sounded insane at the time, because like, at the time, like, all the news media was like, wow, the LAPD is so not only so corrupt, but like just so inept that they couldn't even frame a guilty man. Like, what the hell? I just remember kind of laughing about that at the time. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was the son. You know. But they didn't present it. They didn't mention him. They didn't interview him. Nothing. Yeah, this would be. Okay. So the mom, the quick answer here. I'm not gonna get too mired in this, especially if Amanda's got stuff material on this. But as I recall, and I have not researched any of these details. This is just kind of what I recall being aware of at the time. His son was working in a kitchen with a lot of, well, chef's knives at the time. Already had a prior assault record for assault with chef's knives, big kitchen knives at least. Had an explosive temper, already did not like the stepmom, and if he came in and saw his, stepmom banging the proverbial pool boy, he reacted in a fit of rage and just murdered them both with a kitchen knife. That's how it goes, leaving DNA evidence all over the place, of course. And then the rest of it goes that the DNA decoding of the era was not quite sensitive enough to differentiate the father from the son. So that's, assuming I'm remembering those details accurately. Holy shit, I haven't thought about it in 20 years or more. And didn't think about it that much at the time. Okay, yes, good plug, Kelsey. Listen to the podcast. They dive deep into it. I trust Amanda to have done her research on this much more than I. So it's, I'll just say that, think of this as a plug for the podcast. It's a more interesting and nuanced conversation than, hey, here's some crazy shit that could be plausible. It's like, no, that's actually, that's like, I don't know if it's more likely than unlikely, but again, I just say it fits the evidence as well as the alternative hypothesis fits the evidence as well as the original hypothesis. Done. Hey, Jason Allen. Welcome. So here's a happy song that's not about morbidity or murder. In fact, I learned this song originally for Miss Diana Nicole as a request. Haven't played this in a long time. This is Wagon Wheel. Head down south to the land of the pines, thumb my way into North Carolina. Stand on this road and pray to God I see headlights. I made it down the coast in 17 hours, picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers, and I'm hoping for rally I can see my baby tonight. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Run from the cold of New England, I was born to be fiddler in an old-time string band. My baby plays the guitar, I pick the banjo now. Oh, no, the country winners keep getting me now. Lost my money playing poker, so I had to up and leave. But I ain't a turning back, living that old life no more. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Walking to the south, out of road, no caught a trucker out of Philly, had a nice long choke. But he's headed west from the Cumberland Gap to Johnson City, Tennessee. And I gotta get a move on before the sun. Hear my baby call my name, and I know that she's the only one that ever died rally. At least I will die free. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Yeah. All right. You're welcome, Diana. Good. Yeah, that's fun. That's just a fun to play song. I really like playing that a lot. Has anybody been paying attention to science news in the last week or two? My question abroad. So one thing that's really compelling. Okay, so first of all, the Nobel Prize for Physics was given out. The Nobel Prize for Physics 2023 went out to 3 researchers who were able to demonstrate measurements down to an attosecond. This is significant because this is when we're talking about, how do I describe this? Okay, so you know how a hummingbird goes really fast as far as just its wing beats go, right? So in order to take a still photo of a hummingbird and not have its wings look like just a blur, you gotta have a camera that can subdivide time faster than the hummingbird's wings flap. So you gotta have a camera that can have a, shutter speed faster than hummingbirds' wings flap. So this is already fast. Now, how do we gather information about something like that fast and that small? Well, in this case, we are using photons, light particles, bouncing from, let's say, the sun off of the hummingbird, then into your camera. All right. So our tiny little particle, photon, is plenty small enough, even as small as hummingbirds are. It gives us a much more accurate picture. If you were to try to take a if you were to try to measure me and what I'm doing, one way you could do this is by taking a photograph of me. Another way is you could just try like on the very like granular, very rough capabilities, you could just like throw a lot of beach balls in my direction and see which ones bounce off. And maybe that'll give you kind of an idea of my approximate height, maybe like my approximate width, that sort of thing. But it's all going to be extremely approximate because beach balls are very large and very slow moving. If you were to use, say, ping pong balls, then you might get like a nice outline of me. So ping pong balls considerably smaller, they'll give you more data back. If you were to use like really little marbles, please don't, that would really hurt, but that would give you more information than the ping pong balls, right? So the smaller the thing that we're looking at, the smaller the particle that we're looking at, the more information, the more high fidelity information it can give us. But then also in this case, with going back to our hummingbird's wings, you need something that goes faster than hummingbird's wings. So it's just a really fast camera in this case. The interesting thing about like the Nobel Prize is it's not awarded based on theory. So attoseconds are not a new thought. This is just basically 0 point a lot of zeros, and then we get to a 1. And that's how we define what we even mean by attosecond. It's smaller than a nanosecond. It's smaller than a femtosecond. It's a lot of zeros. And the reason that it's significant is there are some just very low energy photons, particles of light, that oscillate in this short of a region of time, in this fast a way. And so for the first time, we've got researchers that have demonstrated that they can measure something at that tiny of a time scale. So again, imagine our hummingbird wings and imagine how impossible that would have been to photograph, like in the early 1900s when everybody's got to be really still for the photographs because like the shutter time, the exposure time for the camera just takes forever, and so everybody's like always dour looking because if you move at all, you're just gonna like blur yourself out of the photo. So it's everybody's is very formal and very stiff looking because everybody has to hold very still. Then as photography got better, as we moved and evolved past daguerreotypes and got something more like modern day shutter exposure, now people can be a little more natural, and we can get photos of people as they are moving around. So we've got like faster cameras basically. So now physics has a faster way to measure, and if applied to computing, this could really, really, really speed things up and maybe even prevent Moore's law from going totally belly up. Moore's law is essentially how every 18 months everything gets half the size, half the price, and there's a third parameter on that that's escaping me at the moment. Oh, and twice the performance, right? So yeah, the Nobel Prize for 2023, the Nobel Prize, just to reiterate, is given based on what a person or what a team can experimentally demonstrate, not just what they kind of like can come up with on paper or in theory. So attoseconds are nothing new in theory, but in demonstration of their measurability, wow, that was like really cool. We just got a lot smaller and a lot more precise for a lot of research. So there's one thing. There's also James Webb Space Telescope news, but I think I'll play another song first. Yeah. Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup. They slither while they pass, slip away across the universe. Pools of sorrow, waves of joy are drifting through my opened mind, possessing and caressing me. Jaggeroo, nothing's gonna change my world. 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 Images of broken light which dance before me like a million eyes, call me on and on across the universe. Thoughts meander like a restless wind inside a letterbox. They tumble blindly as they make their way across the universe. Jaggeroo, daylight, home. Nothing's gonna change my world. 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 Sound of laughter, shades of life are ringing through my opened ears, inciting and inviting me. Limitless, undying love which shines around me like a million suns, calls me on and on across the universe. Jaggeroo, daylight, home. Nothing's gonna change my world. 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 Jaggeroo, daylight, Jaggeroo, daylight, Jaggeroo, daylight, Jaggeroo, daylight. So yeah, a little bit of space telescope news is there's a cool thing. Um, Irendel is what it's been called. Irendel, um, which I think it's Norse mythology. I can't remember which mythology this goes back to, but it basically it translates to the name translates to morning star. The real reason that I know this name just off the top of my head is because this was because Tolkien took this name in the Silmarillion, and this was the father of oh damn it, the guy that's in charge of Rivendell. Uh, uh, um, wow, how can I not remember his? How why is it? I can remember Arendelle all of a sudden, but I can't remember. Uh, Elrond, thank you, Del. Elrond, thank you, Mom, David. I love that. Like yeah. I, if I were watching this show, I'd be going like, "Did you have a brain tumor for breakfast? What is going on? Why can't you remember Elrond?" Yeah. Okay, so here's what's going on. Here's what's going on. So our universe, just to give you like a little the backstory here, our universe is 13.8 billion years old, give or take a small margin of error there. So when you think about light moving through space, it would seem that the farthest that we could see something away from the Earth would be 13.8 billion light years, right? Because that's as fast as light could have traveled since it started traveling. Let's give like 900 million years, give or take, for the formation of the first stars that could actually then put out light at all. So let's just round this up to like 13 billion years. Seems like it's the oldest or farthest away that something could possibly be observed, right? But in reality, what's going on is that we see light from stars that has redshifted or has gotten farther away from us because the space between the Earth and the origin of that light has since grown. So in the time that the photons were leaving the light source and going toward us, space grew so much that it took the light a lot longer to actually get to us. And the way that the only way that we could see a star as old as this one now is through something we call gravitational lensing. So this is this is a concept from general relativity, Einstein, that suggests that space-time is curved, that when there is a large, massive body, that even light gets bent by the gravity of that massive body. So if you can imagine a huge, massive body that is like at the microphone, right? And the light originates from my right side, and we are observing it over here, and that the object should be perfectly blocked by this large, massive body, right? But what ends up happening is that some of the light that went this way did get absorbed by this massive body. Some of the light that went upward got bent back towards us. Some of the light that went downward got also bent back towards us. Some of the light that started around it got bent back towards us. So what this ends up producing from our observation effect is a ring of light that is coming
all around this massive body. And in this case, this massive body is actually a cluster of several galaxies. This term, by the way, is called an Einstein ring when you observe light from something that should be blocked, but the light is going like above it and below it and to the left and to the right and all the diagonals. We literally call that an Einstein ring. So this particular star is 28 billion light years away. And the only reason that we can see something this far away and this faint is because it has gravitationally lensed around a literal cluster of galaxies. And so, yeah, 28 billion light years away is a lot more than 13.8 billion years. So there's no way that we can ever actually like reach out to this star and do anything causal. It's too far. Like if we were to try to send a message to it, presuming that it's got some inhabited planet around it or something like that, it will, our message will literally just never get there because space will continue to expand, and it'll be like our message is on this treadmill and the path between the two bodies extends faster than the light can catch up. So and David is putting into the chat this, there's hope it could be a population 3 star. Remains to be seen, but that would be freaking cool. Yes, that would be really cool. So what that means, what a population 3 star is, or would be, is one of the first formed stars of literally existence. That would be a population 3 star. Like one of the newest stars, a star that formed in less than 1 billion years of the universe existing, like less than 1 billion years after the Big Bang. That would be a population 3 star. Population 3 stars are expected to be brighter because they are going to be purer in terms of what comprises them on a nuclear level. So they've got like a higher percentage of just purer hydrogen because they came from a simpler, cleaner universe before other things even existed to possibly contaminate the star and make it burn slightly less effectively, slightly less efficiently, the way that our star, Sol, is presumably burning a little less efficiently. So yeah, James Webb Space Telescope saw one of these things 28 billion years away, 28 billion light years away. And yeah, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. And I'll say it this way. I would be surprised if it did not turn out to be a population 3 star. So yeah, that's really cool because even the Hubble couldn't really see those before because the Hubble is geared toward visible light, and this light will have redshifted so far into the infrared that the Hubble shouldn't be expected to be able to see it. But James Webb, yeah. There you go. Yeah, David. Yes, population 3 stars are thought to have lasted only a few million years each and be many, many times the mass and size of our sun. Agree? Which, when you've got something that large and that massive, it's going to burn through its material faster. It's this is all nuclear fusion, so this is like the combining of hydrogen into heavier atoms, and bigger, more massive stars are going to burn through their hydrogen fuel faster and go supernova sooner. And they had to be that massive, yes, because they were nearly all hydrogen and helium, the lightest elements. Yeah, there was like there were traces of lithium, but yeah, we're well into 98th percentile of hydrogen and helium. Well into, definitely. So, the cool thing about modern science is we have all these stories that result. These stories that tell the tale of the origin of our universe. And the coolest thing about these stories, from my buck, is that if they're evidence-based, they weren't just like made up by some Bronze Age tribe-dwelling illiterate people. And I don't say that with any judgment. Like Isaac Newton, as I've quoted many times before, said, "If I've seen far, it is because I've stood on the shoulders of giants." And that in the Bronze Age, when they were just trying to make sense of the world, there weren't a lot of giants that they could stand on the shoulders of yet. And so the coolest thing for me about modern cosmology is that we actually are starting to get some real historical evidence-based answers on where we came from, how we got here. There's some big gaps missing in this conversation, to be sure, but like we have a lot more pieces of it than we had in the Bronze Age. So, that is to say, this is an a cappella version of a song called No Myth. So she says it's time she goes, but wanted to be sure I know she hopes we can be friends. I think, yeah, I guess we can say but didn't think to ask her why. She blocked her eyes and drew the curtain with knots I've got yet to untie. What if I were Romeo in black jeans? What if I were Heathcliff? It's no myth. Maybe she's just looking for someone to dance with. See, it was just too soon to tell. Looking for some parallel can be an endless game. We said goodbye before hello,
My secret she won't ever know. And if I did go home to China, I'll catch the first junk to Soho. What if I were Romeo in black jeans? What if I were Heathcliff? It's no myth. Maybe she's just looking for someone to dance with. Sometime from now you'll bow to pressure. Some things in life you cannot measure by degrees. I'm somewhere between the poles and the equator. Don't send a private investigator to buy me, please. Lest he speaks Chinese and can dance like a stare overseas. What if I were? What if I were? What if I were Romeo in black jeans? What if I were Heathcliff? It's no myth. Maybe she's just looking for someone to dance with. What if I were Romeo in black jeans? What if I was Heathcliff? It's no myth. Maybe she's just looking for someone to dance with. All right, I think I'm going to just do one more this evening, and I think we'll close out. Thank you. I think we'll close out this evening with a Pink Floyd song. I'm doing a lot of social coordinating of people I love. It's one of my closest friends' birthdays. It's one of my closest friends' 60th birthday coming up on Halloween. And there's something like a birthday coming up on Saturday. It's another good friend of mine, but it's her 1 billionth second party. This is something like mathematicians and scientists and engineer nerds geek out on. So yeah, it's not her birthday; it's her 1 billionth second, and throwing a party for her in Venice, and I've got a bunch of Burning Man campmates and such that are flying in over the next days, week or two, and several people are staying with me, blah blah blah, picking up from somebody from LAX this evening in a while, and yeah, I think we'll just close out with one more Pink Floyd song. This is Comfortably Numb. Hello, is there anybody in there? Just not if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Come on now, I hear you feeling down. I can't ease your pain, get you on your feet again. Relax need some information first. Just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? There is no pain you are receding. A distant ship, smoke on the horizon. You're only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you say. When I was a child, I had a fever. My hands felt just like two balloons. Now I got that feeling once again. I can't explain, you would not understand. This is not how I am. I have become comfortably numb. Okay, just a little pinprick, there'll be no more. But you may feel a little sick. Can you stand up? I do believe it's working good. That'll keep you going for the show. Come on, it's time to go. There is no pain you are receding. A distant ship, smoke on the horizon. You're only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you say. When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look, but it was gone. I cannot put my finger on it now. The child is gone, the dream is gone. I have become comfortably numb.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for LoveCast 159. I want to take a second to thank the folks that threw into the virtual tip jar from last year. That's Nick and Christy Davila, Susan Kuhn, and my as ever angelic and anonymous donor. Thank you very much for helping keep the lights on. LoveCast 160 will be here next week. I believe we'll be going back to 8 o'clock. But check the social medias and all the things for updates. But yeah, pretty sure it'll be the regular time next week. And that being the case, pay attention to the science news. Keep looking up. Keep listening to music. I love you all.